That's almost time to say goodbye to March, isn't it? It sure is. Hi, Thomas Miller on the Fun Astrology Podcast. Thanks so much for joining us today. It's March 30th, Thursday. We do have a couple of aspects in the sky that we're going to talk about. And tomorrow I want to answer a couple of questions or some thoughts that I did get on the banking thing that we did on Tuesday. Some concerns, and I would like to address those tomorrow. Problem here is I really try to keep these short as much as possible, and these bigger topics, we just don't have the time to elaborate. So let's do that tomorrow. We don't have any aspects in the sky, and the weekend is light. So really, if we were otherwise wrapping up the week, this would be it. Like we were saying, we're pretty much here taking a breath and a pause before we roll into April. And by the way, Monday the 3rd, so this coming Monday, we are going to do a pop-up Zoom and talk about the month of April and a little bit of what we're doing in the book club, but you don't have to be in the book club. It's open to everybody, and it's free. You can find the link at the top of the funastrology.com website. Just below the podcasts there is a little box, or you can go in the Discord group and at least ask around in there. The Discord link is at the top of the funastrology.com website. So we hope to see you there. It will be fun, and it's just going to be at, let's see, what time? 7:30 Eastern is when we're going to do that. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday evening. Now, above our heads today, we have a void of course moon for 8 hours that begins at 9:45 a.m. Eastern before it moves into Leo at 6:31 this evening. These times are Eastern today. So most of the chunk of the day today is going to be void of course moon. So if you had the inkling to ask a horary question, I just gave you a, because you're supposed to just ask and then see that it's void of course, I can't do this today. And by the way, word did get out over on the Old Soul, New Soul podcast that Robert and I are building a 9-segment, 9-part comprehensive horary class so that you can basically, from this class, do astrology the way Robert does. That's it. That's the bottom line, is if you wanted to sound like him, this is the ticket, and we're putting it together. When it's ready, I'll let you know. So we do have a big, long void of course moon, and then at 3:03 this afternoon, we have Mars trining Saturn. So when we think about that, first of all, we have to get our minds around that this is a water trine, not an earth trine. Saturn in Pisces, Mars in Cancer. Actually, this forms a kite if you bring in the nodes of the moon because they are at the other tips of this formation. I went ahead and set my chart to 3:03 p.m. At that time, Saturn in Pisces is in the 7th house, and Mars is over in the 11th. You know what this says to me? This is a trine, right? So even though we're talking about Saturn and Mars, we're talking about a trine. And we're talking about Cancer, which is a very intuitive, internal, soul-based sign. And we're talking about Pisces, which is spirituality, intuition, connection with highest source. That with Saturn in the 7th, that's about partnerships, right? And Mars in the 11th is about with larger groups of people. That I think that as we are merging and moving toward this new realm and world of spirituality, partnerships are going to be formed in order to advance this material. And that's a lot of what this trine says. If we throw the nodes into the picture, as of this time, this chart, then the south node is in the 3rd house and the north node is up in the 9th. If you are thinking about incorporating spiritual work into your career or just doing it. I mean, maybe you don't need to make a career out of it. You're just doing it. But if you wanted to dedicate more of your life to spiritual work, this is a great aspect to look at. Maybe set your alarm on your phone this afternoon around 3 o'clock and just spend a minute meditating about this and setting intentions around it, because it really is a beautiful picture of partnering with others. And then I've had this for quite a while. My antennas are up. For those of you who are wanting to do this kind of work, that I'm wanting to use this platform as a place to support that. So partnerships in spirituality is a big theme for today. Then the other aspect is at 6:25 this evening, and that is Venus conjoining with Uranus. Did I mention astrology? For a career, well, I'm looking at the chart here still from 3:03 because Venus and Uranus are sitting right next to each other in the 10th house of career. See, I'm telling you, the universe for a long time now, for a couple of years, several years, has been positioning you to think about doing this. That's why that unrest in your soul about, I know there's something more. Well, this is what it is. And actually, when we look at the time 625, Venus and Uranus have moved to the 8th house, which is all about transformation. See, today's chart is singing to us that this is what's coming. This is what we're building toward. And yes, we're going to go through whatever we're going to go through. I have no idea what that's going to be. But we are holding the space for what is coming. And this chart with Saturn in Pisces now and Pluto in Aquarius now and continuing the Neptune transit through Pisces, which goes all the way to 2026. Such an incredible time to be alive. Aren't you glad? And aren't you glad we have this roadmap ahead of us? So, wow. Just love it. All right, we will circle back tomorrow on the banking stuff. Speaking of, the roadmap has twists and turns, so let's talk about that and clear a couple of things up. And then we'll see you back on Saturday for Ray Merriman and Monday back here again to start a very busy month. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.